You're now watching The Hot Seat, powered by XS Energy Drink. When you're drinking XS, you're drinking the best. And now, live from the CSL studio, your host, Nesta Can.
I'm ready.
Welcome to another episode of The Hot Seat. Yours truly, Nesta Can. And this is the fantasy football edition of The Hot Seat. And today we have two special guests in the building. We have my boy Lloyd and my boy JD. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Can I just ask for one? I mean, just for this podcast, I know it seems kind of vain, but can I be called Champ?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
The champ is here.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So, we're gonna we'll get right into it. Break down the rosters for this year. JD, it's your league. What's the league called? Let people know.
So it's called Division One. So I manage a couple of divisions. This one's Division One is called 1.4 Marathon because the winner wins 1,400 in terms of first place.
I was wondering why it was called that. Okay.
Just so when somebody wins, they'll be like, how much is the first place? Like it's actually in the title itself.
It's in the title itself.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. Let's break down some of the rosters here. We start with the Blueprint, which is your team.
I think this is.
How did you feel about your draft, and how do you like your team?
So before I jump into this, I just want to just put it out there, right? Like I'm the defending champion in this league. I just want to put it out there. Lloyd, what's wrong? You look seasick.
No, not at all.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're okay.
Okay.
So really quickly, just so for everybody who's listening, I mean, the team that I drafted, I picked third because I think that's also good context, right? I picked third, and I ended up with McCaffrey and Fournette, and also A.J. Dillon and my running back in terms of starters. My wide receivers right now currently starting, I have CeeDee Lamb, I have Sutton, I also have Brandon Cooks. On my bench, though, I have Michael Thomas, Elijah Moore, Darrell Henderson, who's a running back for the Rams. I also have Taylor Aguilar and also Gainwell, right, which is also, I think, just important context. My quarterbacks are Trey Lance and also Aaron Rodgers. My tight end is Cole Kmet. My defense is the Broncos. In regards to my team, just my own personal assessment for whatever it's worth, is that I think my team is really good in regards to, I think my quarterback situation is shoddy and terrible. But the fact that I was able to get Trey Lance and also Aaron Rodgers, I think provides me a sense of cushion. I think my tight end is crappy, which is clear, but I think the depth that I have at running back and wide receiver pays up for that, considering, again, I have Michael Thomas, who's on my bench right now.
It is preposterous that you have Aaron Rodgers on your bench right now, but go ahead.
No, I got Aaron Rodgers actually in the 11th round, by the way.
But, you're going to start him?
I'm going to start Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting Aaron Rodgers.
I see Trey Lance in the starting position.
I'm starting.
Okay.
I mean, even though I drafted Trey Lance around first, I'm going to definitely start Aaron Rodgers week one. If Trey Lance is good and great, like as they're all saying, he'll be there for week two. But week one, I'm definitely going Aaron Rodgers.
No, I get it. The upside. No, I get it. I imagine.
Lloyd, what do you think about the team?
Well, I would say you have two solid running backs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think. A lot of people sleep on Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks on the low gets 1,000 yards. He's just that's another one. He's just quiet about it, man. I know he bounced around from team to team, but he's a solid wide receiver, and he's going to be the number one factor because it's the Texans.
Yep.
I thought I was a great pickup. I like A.J. Dillon. A lot of people don't realize last year A.J. Dillon is the one that led the team in rushing. It wasn't Aaron Jones. I think so. I like that pickup. The Denver defense is solid. And the fact that you got Aaron Rodgers in the 11th round. But the funny thing, I noticed a lot of people have been hesitant on Aaron Rodgers because now, that's the thing with Devontae. It's a double-edged sword because a lot of people are hesitant to pick Aaron Rodgers, and a lot of people are hesitant to take Devontae Adams because with Derek Carr, they're like, I don't know. Like I've noticed that with the drafts, it's like, I don't know. Like, all right, Devontae, before he was like number 1, number 2, now you're gonna take it like number 10, 11. So I noticed that, but I thought it was a good pickup. That guy, the running back, Tyler, whatever stuff like that. I think that's a good solid pickup because
to it.
Yeah, I think that's a good solid pickup on the low because a lot of people don't realize that. I know right now they got Cordell Patterson, but I don't know if he's going to be able to sustain running the ball like that all the time. They like to use him more as literally like a wide receiver. Yeah, and this kid was great in college and stuff like that. He has good size, good speed, so. I like that one, but your team is your team is solid, and I agree with you with the tight ends. Cole Kmet, another running quarterback, whatever, but I get it because like usually quarterbacks what's the quarterback name again for the Bears? Sorry.
Oh, Fields.
Justin Fields. Sorry,
yeah.
Justin Fields. They love their tight ends because I see like in the pre, they love their tight ends because when push come to shove, they shove right up. Like going up the seam route, I got a little tight end I could throw to him. So, that shouldn't be bad. But your team is solid though.
Moving on to the next team, it was written. And
that's my team.
Let's break it down. What was your mindset going in here into the draft, and how do you like your team?
I feel like my team is decent. I feel like it could be a little bit better. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. But
share with everybody what your team looks like, man.
Well, the thing is
right here.
Yeah. So my quarterback is Joe Burrow, aka Joe Shiesty. My first overall pick was Dalvin Cook. I'm hoping he has a season like he did not last year, the year before that when he was killing. I picked up Aaron Jones. I have Hunter Renfro, who I think is a sleeper, by the way. Mm-hmm. Mike Williams, like we agreed, he finally did a coming out season last year. I got Adam Thielen, another one people be sleeping on. Adam Thielen after the Adam Thielen gets his little 10, 11 touchdowns. I know Justin Jefferson right now is the hot commodity, but
he gets the touchdowns.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, and him and Kirk Cousins, they have a core. Remember, he's been there a little bit longer. Hawkinson, before he got injured, that was Jared Goff's man right there. I have Ramondre Stevenson. I like him because now that James White has retired, he's a good catching running back. Belichick, they love catching running backs. That's why I picked him up. I have the Dolphins defense. I have the best kick in the NFL, hands down, Justin Tucker. On my bench, I have the Packers defense.
I like their defense.
Yeah, good. I got 12 Gage, a.k.a. Russell Gage. He's gonna have to help out a lot because I don't know if the Buccaneers wide receiver, I'm forgetting his name now. The other slot wide receiver, he might be injured for like the first. Godwin. Yes, there you go, Godwin. I know he coming off the ACL. The reason why I picked up Chuba Hubbard just in case if Christian McCaffrey, that's the main handcuff. One thing I learned with fantasy, pick up these handcuffs just in case, especially if you're injury prone. I got Kirk Cousins as my backup quarterback. Kirk Cousins on the low. A lot of people don't realize last year, as far as fantasy, he was number 5 as far as quarterbacks on the low. Yeah. He's not bad. I picked up Nico Collins, which a lot of people slept on. A lot of people don't realize he's the number 2 wide receiver behind Brandon Cooks.
Big body too.
Yes, you need somebody to throw the ball to. I know it's the Texans people, but they need a wide receiver. And my backup tight end is Tyler Higbee. So I know, somebody solid, a nice little veteran to pick up.
So I got a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson, you took in the 8th round. So if I give you these, I'm going to play this game with really quickly. I'm going to give you a few running backs, and you tell me how you would rank them. Ramondre Stevenson, Chase Edmond, and Rashard Penny. Rank those for me.
You said Drake London.
Ramondre Stevenson, Chase Edmonds, and also Rashard Penny. Rank those for me.
The reason why I like Rashard, all right, see the things with Chase Edmonds, because I know he's with the Dolphins right now. I don't know. The Dolphins have this carousel run. I don't like carousel running because I don't know how it's going to go. And Chase Edmonds just got there from he was with Arizona last year, so I don't know how they want to run that scheme. It's so brand new. I seen Stevenson last year. How obviously I'm a Patriot, so I know how they want to use him. So I'm going by like what I know personally. And right now the Patriots offense, we don't have necessarily a lot of weapons, and they love to use the backs as scab backs and stuff like that.
So how would you rank? So you got Stevenson, Edmonds, and you got Rashard Penny.
Yes, I got Rashard Penny.
Now, how would you rank them? Like 1, 2, 3. Like in terms of.
I got Stevenson 1, Chase Edmonds 2, and Penny 3.
How would you rank it, Nestor?
Oh, wow.
So Rashard, Stevenson, Penny, and you have Edmonds.
I'll put Edmonds last. I'll put Stevenson first, Penny, and Edmonds last year.
Wow. So the reason why I'm picking on this is because when you look at the draft, these are people you passed, and including Harris, by the way, Damian Harris went after Stevenson. That for me is when I look at your team, that was for me what I want to know what happened around this. So you took Stevenson in the 8th. I'm just simply saying you also had players such as Drake London, you had Elijah Moore, you had Tyler Boyd. I think there was. That's the only Christian Kirk. I think the only thing that I'm saying, and again, I'm not judging your team. I'm just simply saying. I think your Patriot bias made you take Stevenson probably around earlier than he should have.
The reason why I took him because, and I was telling us this the other day, is that when I was drafting, I don't want to oversaturate my bench with a whole bunch of wide receivers, and then I don't have enough running backs. I've done that in the past, so I try to do like a little balance. If you notice, I always do 2 of everything. So I'm not a big trader. If you notice that,
I noticed that as well.
Yeah, I'm not a big trader. I feel like this is my team. I stick with it, and I just be a waiver wire junkie. That's just me personally. But the thing is, the reason why I took him, and obviously I know Harris is our main running back right now. But one thing with the Patriots, they kind of go with how the hot hand is looking.
Yep.
Because one moment it could be James White, it could be Stevenson. So when you're picking Patriots running backs, you don't know who is going to get it each day. But the reason why I took Stevenson, because I know he's the best passing catching running back.
Yeah.
So I went for the value, not necessarily Patriots. I just went for the value. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
listen, I think the rest of the team. I mean, the rest of the team, I really have I have no criticism on whatsoever.
But you bring up a good point. Though. I like that. I like when people get me to think. Though I like that.
All right, moving on to the next team. We're going to going in raw.
So, I mean, this team, I can just quickly so it has Tom Brady as a quarterback. Running back is Derrick Henry, David Montgomery. It also and Kareem Hunt. Wide receivers are Deebo Samuels, St. Brown from the Lions. You also have Lockett in terms of the Seahawks. You have Schultz as a tight end.
Great
on
team.
the bench, you have Alan Lazard, Cordell Patterson, Alec Pierce, Khalil Herbert, Tolbert, and also Irvin Smith Jr.
I ain't gonna lie, his starting lineup is great.
It's funny you say that. I actually love his bench. Like I like the fact that he has Alan Lazard, right? Like Alan Lazard is going to be Aaron Rodgers' number 1 now. That probably means he at low end he finishes the year with 800 yards, right?
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson. He's going to be a gadget play for them, especially considering, like they don't have Ridley over there. London's actually currently hurt. So besides Pitt, Patterson's the number 2 option over there. So,
but you also got to remember they got Mariota as their quarterback. It's not Matt Ryan no more.
That's correct. That's correct, right? So I mean, I think overall, I think the only question mark that I have for him is Kareem Hunt right now is currently his flex. I mean, what does that look like? And Tyler Lockett. I think with Geno, the problem that I have with Geno Smith with quarterbacks that way is that they need time to be able to throw downfield, and I think the Seahawks line is so terrible. It's going to be hard.
I agree. Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible. I'm just gonna call it like that. I like the team overall. I think he picked up 2 solid running backs. You got Derrick Henry, Montgomery.
He's also a Bears fan. If you didn't notice, he has both Montgomery and also Herbert on his bench.
Oh, he's a Bears fan. And he has Tom Brady. You can't go wrong with Brady.
I know.
Brady.
The only thing is what I noticed on him. He's very wide receiver saturated. He has no backup quarterback. Not to say Brady don't get hurt anyway, but God forbid he doesn't. But what else? Yeah, but the only thing is you don't necessarily have you don't have a backup tight end. You don't have a lot of back. He's very wide receiver and running back. I would say this: the Jalen Tolbert. I don't know for some reason. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but Tolbert. I think Tolbert got talent, man. He might surprise some people.
So question because you raised something just now. He took Tom Brady in the 6th round, number 63 pick. If you draft a quarterback that early, do you still need a backup quarterback?
I still do because obviously you're going to bye week, and because I'll be honest with you, when you go in that waiver wire, it's just nothing but Geno Smiths and all the people like that. And one thing I noticed, it depends on your wins. Like if you 6-0 and you take a L or whatever the bye week is, and you go for that, fine. But when you 3-3, 2-4, to me every win is pivotal. That's just me.
I hear you in that. So Nestor, you take a quarterback in the 6th round. Do you go out and get a backup quarterback in the draft?
No, I don't. Sometimes I have a backup quarterback. Sometimes I don't because I like to keep that extra space for actual player that I might need. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong or right answer. I mean, but there kind of is. So if you go quarterback that early, 6th round, first of all, I think Brady going 6th round is insanely crazy to begin with. He's somebody that I probably would have waited for in the 8th round.
Are you the type that drafts quarterback early or late?
I am I let the draft come to me, man. I truly we drafted. So just to give everybody fully context, so this is called Division 1. I actually have a thing called Division 2. Both of them are in both Division 1 and Division 2. Mm-hmm. My roster looks completely different.
Yeah,
one I was
mine too.
one I was picking third, the other one I was picking eighth. But I'm also somebody who like I truly like look for value. So for example, by the way, that can also screw you because last year I got Kenny Galladay, which that value was in the taker. But I'm only saying that to you like I think for me about value.
But just to talk about like things change now. You can't blame people Kenny Galladay because he went off with the Lions. You're thinking like, he go to the New Jersey Giants. That he's going to things are going to change.
There you go. You're showing your bias. You called them the Jersey Giants on purpose. That wasn't accidental, guys. That was on purpose.
I mean, but I agree with you with the Galladay thing, though. Yeah.
But you're making a point, JD. What was it? Sorry, I had to cut you off.
So I mean, if you take a quarterback that early, do you then go back up? Like it's the equivalency. Like for me, like if you get a quarterback or a tight end early, I'm then inclined to believe that I'm not like. I believe I'm covered in that position. But like I'm only investing that level of stock in you if I believe you are like you're it for me. And then from there, I'm then going to like try to see what else. So for example, if I wait really late for a tight end or a quarterback, there I'll get two positions. Like so for example, in this league, right? Like I waited for a quarterback. I took Lance. The next pick I took Aaron Rodgers because I felt the value was there. I only did that because of where I got them. Like if I would have had, for example, let's say I got I'm trying to think of somebody who's really good. If I got Patrick Mahomes, right, and Aaron Rodgers in the 12th round, I don't take Aaron Rodgers personally because I've already invested. Because first of all, a couple of things. One is I've invested so much money and so much stake in and Patrick Mahomes. The second thing is I'm technically only playing Aaron Rodgers once. And again, but let's just say, for example, the season ends where they're both 1 and 2. I've now wasted a slot on my roster where I could have gotten more depth versus like picking between these two who's going to be it because there's only one. I could only play one quarterback.
And they're the same type of quarterback too. That's the thing. They're the same, literally the same type of. So I feel you on that.
There's some people that says don't worry about ADP. If you want your guy, get your guy. Because sometimes if that guy that was supposed to be a late round pick turns out to be really good, then it's like okay, you went up for him and it paid off. You know. So what do you think about that? They say don't worry about what you picked him too early because if he produces, then it's not too early.
See, so this
and some guys we go for early, they don't produce, and you're like shit.
So this brings me back to my
pick on them.
This brings me back to my childhood days. For me, it's all about value. Right, like I don't want to feel like I overpaid for someone. Like even if I love you, like it doesn't feel good to me, right? Like if I'm over. So for example, if Lloyd and I get the same hat, which we probably wouldn't because we don't like the same teams. But if Lloyd and I got the same hat, a neutral team, for example, and I loved it. It's a hat that I really wanted. I've been saving up money for it, and I finally get the hat or whatever. If I paid $60 and Lloyd comes and says, "Hey, I paid $20 for it," like that shit just blew. Like I'm no longer happy with the hat. Like it takes away from that. Like so that's why I'm saying when people say go get somebody, like it has to be within reason. If you reach for somebody and yes, they pan out, but you reach for them, like you didn't get value there.
What's considered a reach though? You know sometimes we all say he'll come back to me. The player doesn't never come back to you. Someone snatches them up way too long.
And values of the eye of the holder because even though you paid 60 and I paid 20, I'm like I paid 60, but I still got it at the end of the day because I'd rather pay 60 and get it and then wait until it go down to 20, which is a possibility. That's not a guarantee. And all of a sudden, I lose out completely. You know what I'm saying? So it depends.
I guess we just all figured out that I'm really cheap.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing being frugal.
All right, let's move on to the next team.
It's
you. It's my team.
It's you. It's you. So I think you got to choose your own team.
Yeah. All right. So where do we start here?
No, you got to introduce your team. Introduce your team so I can hear it.
Your team. I'll try to go pass heavy and I try to go with the whole zero running back.
Can I just say for a second? And I don't mean to cut you off. Like the fact that you're already giving a narrative to support why you made your picks, I think you should first share your picks with us.
No, I'm letting you know.
No, you're giving a narrative. You're giving a narrative.
I'm letting you know what my mindset was going into the draft, and then I'm giving my picks.
What did you have for breakfast that day?
Let me give my picks. I got Russell Wilson as my quarterback. He's gonna have a solid year. I think I'm high on the Broncos this year. Like I said, I waited for the running back, so I didn't get the best running back. So I took the whatever was available in terms of starting running backs. Like you said, we talked about it earlier. Philly, not too. Their running back situation is like iffy, but I picked Miles Sanders. Chase Edmonds it kind of helps that what's the name got cut, so it helps that Chase Edmonds is going to be the main back over there. I got my guy Gabe Davis. He was on the board and had to go for him.
Yeah, he's gonna have a breakout season, I think.
Chase, he was my number one pick, so I had to go with Chase. I went with Pittman as well. I think Pittman, having Matt Ryan over there, is going to have a pretty decent season. I'm not going to say he's going to have a great season. He's going to have a decent season. Andrews, that's Lamar Jackson's main target. Brian Robinson, sad what happened to him, but
yeah, I know.
He was supposed to. I picked him because I know he was gonna take over Gibson's spot. And that would have been that helped me out a lot. I gotta have my Bills defense. I know y'all laughed at me in the draft. Tyler Bass got my kicker.
Where you took them?
Yeah, I took him early. Got to get my boys, man. If I want something, I got to get them.
I hear you.
Tyler Bass got my kicker. I was going for Tucker, but someone snatched him from me. But I got Tyler Bass. I got and my bench is just a whole bunch of guys that I know is going to become stars eventually. James Cook is eventually going to steal Singletary snaps. Rashad White is going to take over for Fournette eventually.
That's a good pick.
Zahir White is going to take over for Jacobs. Jacobs been struggling. I got Matt Ryan there because I always like to try to sometimes pair my quarterback with a wide receiver in my lineup, so I know I have Pittman. I was looking for Cortland Sutton, but someone took Cortland Sutton. So I was trying to pair him with Russell. So I took Matt Ryan. He was there. Isaiah Likely. I like Isaiah Likely. He's going to be upcoming stud on the Ravens.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right, you'll see.
Yeah, okay.
And KJ Hamler. Also like him in the Broncos offense. Patrick had went down. So that's my squad right there.
Yeah, I have a couple of let's just one non-fantasy thing. So Nestor is the king of clickbait. So in this league, Nestor sends literally before the draft, but now he's stopped, thank goodness. Literally 50 videos a day, and I'm not even over exaggerating. And Lloyd can tell me if I'm lying. Right before the draft, Nestor sends a video for us, and it's the top 5 things you shouldn't do before you draft. The top 5 things you shouldn't do in a draft. I think point 2 was you don't draft a defense early on, you wait for a defense, right? And Nestor and I said propaganda. I knew, he's sharing this as propaganda, guys. He's not going to use any of this. So you picked in the 6th round, number 67, you picked the Bills defense. So when you pick the Bills defense, you pass up on people like Elijah Moore, Chris Goodwin, A.J. Dillon, David Singletary, Marquise Brown, and Mike Thomas, right? Those are the next 5 people, right? I think what I would say to you, you selected with your heart, not with your head. I think that pick, because again, so for example, let me give you that. So you took the Bills defense in the 6th round.
Yep.
The next defense did not go until the 12th round. The Ravens went with pick 140.
Right. But I got the best defense. Supposedly, I got the best defense at that position.
So going back to the question that we posed, and again, we don't even plan for this, by the way. We don't even rehearse. Yeah. So we talked about value, right? And that value is the eye of the beholder. You can't tell me, as the beholder, you believe picking a defense 80 picks before the next defense went is value.
Yeah, to me it is.
Lloyd, I need you to be the tiebreaker on this one.
Go ahead.
You know, to be honest with you,
No. Don't worry about him cutting this off. We're not getting paid for this. We're not getting paid for this anyway. Just be honest. He's not inviting us back after this. He's not inviting us back after this anyway.
You know, during the season, I'm gonna post. Y'all get mad at me posting. I'm gonna take clips and I'm gonna
say to you guys, Nestor never gets upset. Look at his face. He's turning red. Look at his veins popping out. Look,
posting it inside the chat all the time.
Look at him. He got upset, guys. Look. This is go. Lloyd, break it.
To be honest with you, okay, do I think it's a little far-fetched to me? Yes. But at the end of the day, I always say this. When you go on fantasy, there's no right and wrong way. I've seen somebody take.
So I was just being the one not being returned to this spot.
No. I'm not saying that. Everybody has their way. Everybody has their ways. On who to pick, or who they see as value at the end of the day. Is it a little unorthodox? Yes. But at the end of the day, listen, if that's his thing, that's his thing. You never know. He might damn near make the finals. One thing with fantasy, I always say this, there's really no blueprint to fantasy, man, at the end of the day.
Wait, what's the name of my team?
I can't stand
Like
this
that
guy.
was good. Come on. That was
Yeah,
good. That was good. I have the blueprint though.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, I personally wouldn't take a defensive, but that's him. But if it works for him, I think, and let's be honest with you, a lot of times, we're football fans. I think sometimes you gotta have a little love too. You got your favorite team, and if he's right there, you might be like, you know what? Damn, I got CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is the better wide receiver. All right, I'm gonna take CD though. That's my guy. Some people think that way.
Yeah, but again, I'm just simply saying, like, I think value's an eye beholder, and I'm just simply saying, like, I think I would have loved your team more if you just waited a few rounds for the Bills defense.
I mean,
I think you could have added that.
Someone would have took them before me, and I wouldn't have had them.
Yeah,
and then that's a position I'm going to start every weekend. Who knows that the person I would have picked in that slot? Who else was there? You said if I would have played that person every week. Let's think about it. It would probably have been on my bench.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just simply saying to you, like, I think there's a lot. I mean, you went 80 picks.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I do feel like
80 picks.
But I do feel like you would have definitely gotten the Bills later on.
We all know you would have.
Yeah, you would have gotten the Bills later on.
80 picks.
Because I didn't take my first defense until I think it was like round 13, 14.
I think most people didn't take it till then.
Yeah.
Well, I took my guy.
But again, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And clearly, you've all heard it here first. If his team, if the Bills defense is the reason he wins, we'll be back on
the
here.
reason I win, but
Yeah.
And by the way, the thing I put in the chat, I put those in there, but I don't follow all of them. But there's some good advice sometimes. I don't follow them. I don't follow all of them.
Stop it.
And in that video, it says wait on the quarterback. A lot of people select the quarterbacks early, so obviously,
somebody took
someone took Lamar Jackson and stuff, and
that league,
it all depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Everyone has different.
And I ain't gonna lie, that messed me up. I'm like Mahomes in this.
No, Mahomes went 23rd, and then Josh Allen went 24th. So basically, at the end of the second round,
I took Josh
both
Allen.
Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
but like I said, it's all about it's about value at the end of the day.
I agree, and it's in the eye of the beholder. So
how you like my team, Gene? What you got to say?
I just told.
Do I get a C? Do I get a B? Do I get an A?
So this is where it goes wrong for me, honestly. Like, I feel like last year I rated your team, like rookies and sophomores, and I freaking sat up here and chuckled and laughed at it. And you did start off really terrible,
bad.
and then you got on this like crazy run.
Yeah.
I mean, I will just simply say to you, like, I think you have a lot of things that need to fall for you on this team. Like, I think Miles Sanders has to fall for you. I think I think your flex position is super up in question because Brian Robinson can't be your flex right now.
Well, I'm taking him out.
Yeah, but who do you then put in your flex right now?
I'm gonna put in KJ Hamler.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Your bench is terrible.
Oh my gosh!
I don't want to say that. The bench is terrible.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. Hold on. So let me get this straight. Like, and I want everybody to remember this. I'm gonna get kicked off this podcast because I told him he took a defense too early, 80 picks too early. He said his whole bench. He just said his whole bench is terrible. And he doesn't get upset.
No, I'm not getting upset. I'm trying to
about the Bills defense. You got mad.
You say my bench is terrible.
I didn't say that.
Right?
He might win though.
Hold on, my bench is terrible. I want to make sure that you hear what they're saying.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say your bench was terrible. I was repeating what he said. I was just talking about the Bills defense. I didn't even look at the bench yet.
So my bench is terrible because you know why my bench is terrible? Because you guys don't know any of these guys. That's why you guys think my bench is terrible.
But
and eventually, when these guys become starters, I'm gonna get a lot of trade offers, and then Nessa, you all right? And that's when you know me. When I'm gonna say, okay, guys, I'm gonna replay this, and I'm like, yo.
Well, all right. Well, let me explain.
But it's still an if, though. That's still an if.
But I also want to. I just want to also put it out there. I want to put it out there. I want to put it out there because like Lloyd and I are not friends, and we don't even like each other. I did not say that was a Lloyd comment. I only talked about the Bills defense going early.
Damn, Jay.
Sorry. I just want to keep feeling going.
My bench is terrible for now. For now, on outside looking in, on a surface, because these are unknown players right now for most people.
Okay, let me clarify. Just to sum it up. The reason why when I say terrible, the only reason why because all right, James Cook definitely got value. I already spoke about him already. The Rashad White from Tampa Bay and Zamir. Here's the thing, because when you're playing with Brady, yeah, you can substitute for Leonard Fournette, but one thing with Brady. He ain't too big on rookies. You got to impress me a lot.
He loves pass protection.
Yeah, you got to impress me a lot to be in. Because you miss an assignment, Brady, like, yo, get his ass out.
Yeah.
You out. That's him. The Zamir White, you're right. I don't know about him, but one thing with
McDaniels, it's gonna be a carousel over there.
Yeah,
like I think from a fantasy, it's gonna be a nightmare. Like even if he's the guy, I think it's gonna be a nightmare. Listen, I think the way I would word it if I would use that right now, you have no one on your bench that is a week one right now, like a week one starter.
I'm gonna put KJ Hamler in my slot.
He's the only one.
I mean KJ. I mean because you're hoping that he gets a touchdown and he has a good game, right? Like I mean,
he's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
He's number 3. He's gonna be in that offensive line.
But in fairness, you also have to remember, you started off this podcast saying you believe Russell Wilson got a big season, so you already believe in the Broncos offense, right?
I believe in them.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So yeah, we good, man. We good.
All right. I hear you.
And plus, too, I'm not going to make any. I like it like that because I think when you have a lot of options on the bench, it's good. But then it can also mess you up because then you fall into that thing. Who do I start? I know who I'm starting because I don't have anyone on my bench.
I'd rather have the problem of who I start versus like I don't have enough to start.
I mean, well, we're all different, so let's go. Was that Durag Bandit?
Yeah, Durag. So Durag Bandit. I mean, so this was the one. It's interesting because like there's two teams that we kind of referenced before, and again, this one was one of the teams that we're referencing because they took Josh Allen. So this team, I think, drafted first. They had the first pick. They did have the first pick. So they went Jonathan Taylor. They have Chubbs as running back, and they also have in their flex, they have Rashard Penny, and then their other wide receivers are Darrell Mooney. They have Jalen Waddle. They have Marquise Brown. They have, and then on the bench they have Dawson Knox. They have MVS. They have Michael Carter, DJ Chalk, Devontae Parker, Michael Hardman, and in their tight end slot, they have Darren Waller. The reason why I think this team is such an enigma in a lot of ways, in my personal opinion, is that I think I would have expected bigger bang, considering that they had at the very end of the odd numbers, they always had that like the 2 and like the 1 and 2 pick, and they didn't. It doesn't have that for me right now.
And they're very wide receiver heavy. If you notice that, a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah, but what that says to me though is he's trying to get high score. Yeah. Right, like so. For example, like, and again, and maybe I don't even know. Like, I'm not going to speak for Keith. I don't even know Keith. I mean, I know Keith, but I can't speak for him. But I think it's clear to me, like when you do that, when you stack up on the wide receivers the way he's did, like especially with MVS, like and people like that, like in terms of like on the bench, like I think that makes a big thing. But it goes back to my other point that I raised earlier. Like if he went Waller, which I have to see what round he took Waller in, but like the fact that he went Waller and then he also has Knox, like I just think right there, like if again, depending on what round he went with Waller, like I just think he might have over-indexed it. So he went Waller with the number 48th pick. So you went Waller in the 4th round. Like the first person on your bench shouldn't be Knox then.
I agree with that.
Like that's where I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I think that team went wrong. And again, like when I look,
and I think Knox has a little more value than Waller right now.
Yeah, and when you look at, so for example, this is great. He took Knox in the 8th round, right?
That was a great pickup.
After
that's a great pick.
So, but let's look who else was there. Like he had Rashard Penny. Right, he had Christian Kirk, Brian Robinson, who at the time we thought Brian Robinson was going to be the starter for the Redskins. I mean, the
that was a great pickup.
For the Commanders, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be. I don't want to get canceled here. You had Roberts Woods, you had Taylor Lockett, you had Darius Toney. Like again, those are like I'm just talking about just in the next round. Yeah. Those talents went, and again, for you to go Knox after you already went Waller with such a high premium, like I just think that's the thing that I would say to people. Like I would have actually just taken depth at that point.
Yeah.
Anything you're saying this?
No, I actually agree. I actually agree with Gene because like I'm just assuming if he didn't take Waller, right? If he didn't take a tight end period, and you would have gotten Knox and Ronnie, because like you said, you could have used that. You could have used that Waller pick when you picked him so high. You could have taken like another like another running back. Honestly, like another stud running back. Even though I like his running backs, you got Taylor and Chubb. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but I mean, so his wide receivers, right? So the one we have. So after he took Darren Waller, which by the way, he took Darren Waller before Kittles went. Kittles went 50. He took Waller at 48. So you had people like Cooks went, Gabe Davis went, Allen Robinson went, Adam Thielen went, Deontay Johnson. You could have ETN. You could have ETN at 53. Like there's a lot of things in talent he passed up that I think. I would have. I mean, he over-indexed in both areas. Like if he would have took Waller, that's fine. But you don't take Knox so early. But then because it's hard for him to know what Knox would have been there, right? But Waller, once he had Waller, I wouldn't have taken Knox when he did, unless he's looking to make a trade, which is possible.
All right, let's speed this up because we have half an hour left and we have a couple of teams left. So, how you pronounce this team name? Noque.
Noke. So I'll go Noke real quick. So Noke has Derek Carr as the quarterback. His running back is Harris. He has Breece Hall, and then he also has at wide receiver starting. He has Ayuk. He has McLaurin. He has Judy. He has Woods. He has Travis Kelce as his tight end. On his bench, he has Tony Pollard. He has Matheson. He has Claypool. He has Sky Moore. He has Carson Wentz, and he also has Fant. And his starting quarterback is Derek Carr.
Not bad.
Yeah. You know, I like the running back. I like the running backs. They're solid.
And they're young. I mean,
Yes.
I think right. Like, I think that's also something you got to give up. Like, when you have young running backs, like most likely, like they're gonna just play.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Next team we're gonna go with is the Shocker.
Somebody else can go. I mean, so and not just because I feel like I'm hogging.
No.
giving the
No. It's your thing. I'm gonna break it down.
Yeah.
So he has quarterback wise, he has Jalen Hurts. Running back, he has Eckler. He has Javonte Williams, and then he also has Damian Pierce in his. And then starting wide receiver, he has Godwin, Allen, DJ Moore, and he also has. That's it. And his tight end is David Njoku. His starting quarterback is Jalen Hurts. His bench is Damian Harris. He has Christian Kirk, Kenneth Walker, Rondell Moore, Taylor Burks, and he also has Mike Davis.
Yeah. I like the team. Team is solid. I'm not really, Jalen Hurts to me is a wild card.
Yeah.
But pretty much you're banking on him, not necessarily for the passing touchdowns, more or less the running. Because if you get you a rushing touchdown and the passing, that could pay dividends. But the team is solid.
How long's Godwin out for? What's the deal with him?
I don't know.
5 weeks?
No, not 6 weeks. But they're not sure yet about the week 1. Maybe week 2 definitely. But week 1. Because remember he injured that like around December of last year. No, sorry, November. No, December of last year with the ACL. So they just want to take their time with him. That's why they got Gage.
All right, let's go on. Next one. The team is Top G's.
The one thing I just want to say about this one team real quick is just going back on the Shockers just for one quick second, is that I think for me, like he got DJ Moore so late in the draft and it kind of pissed me off because I felt like he got so much great value from DJ Moore. Yeah. Where he got DJ Moore at the 45th pick. Yeah. So I think that is somebody who I think is a sleeper. I think Javonte Williams with also Eckler is really scary to me.
That's what I think.
But I do think the fact that like he has David Njoku, like he waited really, really late for his tight end. His tight end was his pick,
that's a good pick.
148.
And that's a good pick.
So if that works out for him, I think we factor in his depth and also the fact he got a tight end so late, I think could make it scary.
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on Jalen Hurts though, but he got a solid team.
He does. I totally agree with that.
Top G's.
So top G's, you have Kyler Murray, a quarterback, and running back. You have James Conner. You have Travis Etienne. You have Elijah Mitchell. And then when you look at his wide receivers starting, he has Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Rashard Bateman. He has Albert. I'm not going to say the last name right. It's his tight end from Denver. And Kyler Murray is his quarterback. And then he has Drake London on his bench, Melvin Gordon. He has Isaiah Pacheco, Marvin Jones. He has Josh Palmer, and he has Jameis Winston on his bench.
Thoughts on this one? Like the team?
Yeah, that's solid. I like the running backs. I don't think James Conner's going to have the same season that he had last year. It was just a coincidence. He had like 16, 17 or something.
Wow.
Rushing touchdowns.
So breaking news, as I'm sitting here, Brian Robinson of the Redskins, of the Commanders, is already back at practice.
Oh wow, that's good for you. Yeah, because he had surgery yesterday.
Yeah, but that's.
And a lot of people in a lot of leagues dropped him already.
Are you freaking serious?
Yeah, some people dropped him already. Yeah. You got to hold on to him. I was waiting to see if he went on IR so I could put him on there and pick up a player.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this team, sorry. So going back to top G's for 1 second, I mean, I think between Elijah Moore and Bateman, like one of them has to hit for him in order for him to, because again, the tight end position, he's like the rest of us taking a crapshoot in it. Yeah. But what I do like, though, I think his bench is really balanced from the standpoint of like, I think Drake London, I think Melvin Gordon, I think Isaiah Pacheco, like I think he has enough veteran and rookies, veteran and rookie balance there on the bench.
Not sophomores and rookies.
Not sophomores and rookies. Only one person could pull that off.
Oh man, I was going for it again. No. Next one is what? You sleep. And you sleep in, I fluff pillows?
I fluff pillows, huh? So he has his starting quarterback is Lamar Jackson. His running back is Alvin Kamara. He has CEH. And then...
already.
Oh, wow. And he had... So his wide receivers is Hopkins, Diggs, Allen Robinson. He went 2 tight ends. So he has Pitts and he has Dallas Goedert in his flex position. Mm-hmm. On his bench is Rashawn Mostert. He has Pickens. He has Jamal Williams, Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, Tua, and then he also has Michael Gallup, and he has Jameson Williams of the Detroit Lions on his IR.
Mm-hmm. Is Williams playing this year? Is he planning on playing? They said he's not going to play this year. Is he going to play?
He's going to play, but he's not. I mean, they're not projecting him. They don't have a date for him yet. A lot of people projecting him to come back like week 6 or something like that.
That's a good station, yeah.
Yeah. The team is all right.
I like the wide receivers.
Yeah, I could say that. I think with Hilaire is a toss up. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think he's going to become a star. I think that that rookie is going to Pacheco. Yeah. I think he is because he's a stud.
What happened to Hilaire though? Remember he started off. He came on. He was.
I don't know.
Yeah, he just
came on swinging. Then after that, he just. You think the system they changed the right way? But you know they don't really move for him as much.
But you know what? He's a small running back. When I say small, he's like in stats. He's like only like 5'9". You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but. Yeah.
Good. We moving on to the next squad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next squad we have Duke Nukem.
So you have as starting quarterback, you have Dak Prescott. Running back wise, you have Joe Mixon. You have Zeke from the Dallas Cowboys. And you also have Cam Akers. And then from the wide receiver, you have Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Juju Smith-Schuster. You have Patrick Frithmore as tight end from Pittsburgh. On his bench, he has Dobbins, James Robinson, Garrett Williams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Henry, and Kenyon Drake.
I like the Devontae Adams and Mike Evans and the Pat. I can't even pronounce it. Pat Fairman. Yeah. I like him as a tight end. I think he gonna definitely blow up this year. He did pretty good as a rookie. Zeke, yeah. This is make or break. This is make or break year for Zeke. I don't know when he drafted Zeke or whatever, but if he got him for a great value, sure. Mixon is solid. Dak is on and off to me. I don't think Dak is going to put up as much as he did last year because to me personally, I don't think they have the same talent as they did. I think by them losing Amari Cooper is definitely going to play them, and especially that offensive line, that O-line is definitely decimated. The bench is all right. He picked up Garrett Wilson, Jacoby Myers. Like I told you, when you're picking the Patriots, you never know. You got J.K. Dobbins. I don't know how that's going to go as far as the running back carousel. And I see he picked up Kenyon Drake and he has Hunter Henry. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I think Cam Akers is a make or break for him. Yeah. I think Juju, his bench is what's freaking scaring me. So I mean, J.K. Dobbins, like I think he put him there, but between J.K. Dobbins and Jacoby Myers, I think those are just 2 solid players, honestly, to be on your bench. Like. That's what when I look at this team, I'm kind of like, I mean, even right now with his starting lineup being what it is, like it's decent and good balance. But then he also has 2 possible starters on his bench, which I think is like. But again, like it's clear this is a team that waited for tight end, with Patrick Frithmore being the tight end. But like that's what's not concerning to me, but that's what's kind of impressive. And this is where I tell people, like, don't over-index on a position that if you go early. So, for example, like, this position, they waited for Dak Prescott because he got Dak with the 86th pick, right? Like, and then obviously his tight end, he waited again and got his tight end with the 107 pick. But, like, he then stacked up on other positions. Like, even James Robinson being there, like, on his bench is kind of, like, impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think, real quick? Saquon or Zeke? Who's gonna have a better season than
who? Saquon or Zeke?
Saquon Barkley or Zeke Elliott?
I guess I go Saquon because this is definitely a make it or break it year for him per se.
I think Zeke is positioned to have a better year. I think the reason why
Pollard did? Even Pollard did?
The reason why I say that is I think the Giants right now, if they don't win, I can see them blowing it all up with Daniel Jones and also with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, they have to.
Right? You see what I'm saying to you? So like that. So versus Zeke, like I think the Cowboys have invested so much money. Like Jerry Jones is actually like talking about like how the offense goes around Zeke. Like I think Zeke is better positioned to be successful.
Well, yeah, right? He's still the highest paid running back.
Right? Yeah. But versus like I think it's Saquon. If the Giants start to go left, like I can see them moving in a different direction.
Oh yeah. The only reason I said that because it's a make or break. He even said like last week. He's like, I'm tired of people always doubting me and this and that and stuff like. So you got something to prove. And usually people got something to prove. But New Jersey. You know how that franchise goes. So.
Yo, man, you still hurt by the fact that they beat you guys for the Super Bowls?
No, I'm just a New Jersey team. That's
okay, fair enough.
Nothing personal. But go ahead.
All right, so we have Church Girl.
Okay.
What's up next? Break this one down.
Who, by the way, before we give this disclaimer, can you please clear up that you're not a misogynist?
Well, of course I'm not. Why?
Because remember, like, you went on there and you made a comment about...
Yeah, because she threw a shot at me, so I threw a shot back.
I think you're being sensitive, but I'll let you go.
I am sensitive. We all are sensitive.
Some more than others.
You know what? It's nothing wrong with being sensitive.
No, it's absolutely. I listen to Drake. Drake's my favorite artist. So clearly, I get in my mood, man. Like Drake's my favorite artist. So I'm totally down with the sensitive movement. By the way, just to let you know that.
Sensitive. As you can see, I get sensitive when I feel like I'm being cornered or someone attacking me. I'm like, I come into the chat just you invited me to leaks. I come with all love, happy, excited, fantasy. Yeah. And you got a guy like Kit. I'm calling you out. It's like even he did with Lloyd. He just come out of nowhere and just turn it from football to I don't want to say personal because I think what it is because you say you met him before. He's never met me before.
No,
so
I never met him.
if we have football by you and I come by your house and he gets to meet me, it's different when you actually know a person in a chat. That's nice. Compared to when you don't know a person.
I think that's so. I thought that's. There was also one when you made the joke. I was like, Ness actually has women in his league. So I was like, that's when they made that joke or whatever. But you wanted. I guess you wanted to be the villain that day because you were like, yeah. And I was like, wait, no. Like it's not like we can't get you canceled out here. But going into this team,
I apologize, but you know me. I didn't mean it.
It's all fun. It's all fun.
Then everyone started chiming in, so I started chiming back.
I think the most important thing it's sports at the end of the day. We always
we're not the ones on the field, by the way. FYI,
exactly.
We're also not the ones getting dressed and going on the field.
We're not doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody got on me, because specifically because of like my views on the quarterback and stuff like that.
Fucking your mother.
Lamar Jackson. Like you are very sir. I got to be honest with you. Like I do wonder about the relationship. Because it does come across a little bit personal.
Because I feel like you're giving accolades and praise for a guy who hasn't put it. I did the same thing.
He got MVP though. He got MVP. He did get accolades. The NFL gave it to them, not us.
Okay, and you won 3 in the playoffs. Okay.
So going to Church Girl. Shout out to Carrie, by the way, who holds it down and who fucks me every time. By the way, you got to cut that part out because she drafted around me, so she screwed me a couple times.
Did she draft this team?
She drafted this team. I'll tell you why she drafted this team because Mahomes pick seems like a move that she would make.
It's actually a good.
She likes Mahomes.
Yeah, she's very big on getting quarterbacks kind of early. I mean, that's from the last few years. It seems like that's what she's done.
It's actually a good team.
She went Josh Jacobs, David Singletary as her running backs. She has Patrick Mahomes again as her quarterback. She has Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith. She has George Kittle in her tight end position. She has Tyler Boyd on the bench, McKissick, Galladay, Everett, Stafford, and Williams on her bench. Darrell Williams on her bench.
Well, the first thing that sticks out to me, obviously, is Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, and Patrick Mahomes.
And George Kittle's.
That's why. Sorry. Those 4 stick out. Like, damn, like you happen to get all 4. I'm like, how the hell would you pass up to all those?
Yeah, I think she went for but again, like her running backs are shaky. I'll say.
Yes,
but that's what happens. I think it's when you get strong wide receivers and running backs are kind of weak.
Yeah, especially if you're strong at both quarterback and tight end. Yeah, like that's rare that you see somebody's able to be strong in both those positions.
That's what I'm saying.
And her wide receivers are insane.
You got Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp,
right? Like her wide receivers are insane.
Those are her 2 first picks, right? It had to be Kupp first.
No, I think it was Mahomes. I think it was.
She went Kupp first. She went Kupp first.
She went Kupp then Mahomes. Yeah, Cooper Kupp then Mahomes. I think.
Yeah, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. And then she went Tyreek in the third.
She went
Tyreek 26. She went Tyreek 26. Because what I think probably what happened, people probably over-index. So for example, in that draft, which is a good thing, like in the second round, Saquon Barkley went, Aaron Jones went. You had had Connor went, Williams went, Fournette went. Like, it was a bit of a run, and then Chubbs went. Like, there was a bit of run of running backs. And again, like, shout outs to her, shout outs to Carrie on that. Let me just not say her, Carrie on that, because that's the thing that I think people don't get. A lot of times when people make a run, when people zig, you can zag, and it's totally fine. And in this situation, she zagged and got Tariq Combs in the third, Tariq Hill in the third.
That's a good pickup, man. That's what I was like, damn.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, like, if you, again, her running backs are questionable, but like, she's strong everywhere else.
Yeah. And you're not gonna be strong in everything. Something's going to take.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It just depends what you get, but not bad.
Yeah. So last one is it's Kit's team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kit's team. So we have Justin Herbert as his quarterback.
Yep.
He went Swift, Barkley, Gibson in terms of his running backs, and then his wide receivers are AJ Brown, Dante Johnson. He has DK Metcalf. His tight end is Zach Ertz. He has on his bench Tony from the Giants, Olive from the Saints. Olive from the Saints. He has Gesicki, which we were just talking up. He has Hines, Dotson, and also Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I would say to be honest with you, besides Justin Herbert, I think the two best picks he picked up to me, like value picks, is DeAndre Swift and Gesicki. Because Swift, I'm be honest, I think the Lions could make a little bit of noise because before he got injured a little bit, so like Swift was doing his thing, man. And the thing is with him, because he could run the ball, and he could catch the ball. I think if the Lions stay solid, or whatever case may be, I feel like that'll pay dividends. And and he has two solid tight ends. I like Gesicki a lot, man. If they use him right, Chris Olave. I think with him, if Mike Thomas does play, I think it'll open up for Chris Olave, and then with Jarvis Landry being there too. Yeah. I think I like this kid a lot. And he's a good route runner because I watched him at Ohio State. Real good route running. And he got Naeem Hines. You can't go wrong with that because he's the catching running back for the Colts.
Yeah. So. By the way, so funny enough, man, I was in this other league, and the guy has Jonathan Taylor. I actually have Javonte Williams.
Okay.
So I told him I would trade him Melvin Gordon for Naeem Hines, and everybody lost their minds, and I was like,
no, it's the same thing. Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. So that's exactly what I said. I want this clip to actually, because I want to put this clip right here when we just said it's the same thing, because everybody was like, this is why you don't trade this, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, you guys just sound ridiculous.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
It's literally the same.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I'm giving you your handcuff. I'm giving you my handcuff. That's it. That's it. And he's like, oh no. He's like, absolutely. He's like, no. Melvin Gordon's gonna play. I was like, have you not read what Melvin Gordon is saying in training camp? No. Melvin Gordon's saying they're not using me. Like I'm like,
and you got to remember in running back years, Melvin Gordon is always young. I think he's 30 now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 29 to 30 years old. And Javonte Williams is a stud. Javonte Williams is a stud. He got a little taste as a rookie, so now they like, we're gonna increase you even more, especially with Russell Wilson being over there. That's what to show you. It goes to show you that everyone views trades differently.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. And sometimes it's the person who's making the trades coming from. Because literally I'm sitting here, I'm like, why does it seem so personal? I'm like, it's like, but the thing I want to just say really quickly about Keith's team before we jump off is that this is what I was saying earlier when we looked at Keith's team, where he had the one in, he was the first pick, so in the second and third round he went back to back. Like Kid, for example, his back to back picks so in round 1 and 2 he went Swift and then he went Barkley. Round 3 and 4 he went AJ Brown and then he went Justin Herbert, and then in round 5 he went Dante Johnson and DK Metcalf. I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna go the rest of his orders. The reason why I think that's super important to kind of flag out is because that's what I'm trying to say. If you are at the end or at the first pick, you have an opportunity to really make some really serious noise. And I felt like with Keith's team, not taking away from it, I felt like he could have had more bang versus I felt like with Kit's team he had that bang. If that makes any sense.
We'll pick the Kit pick the first.
He picked he's last.
He had
12 pick. He had 12 pick. He had the turn.
Yeah, I like the turn.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying too. And I feel like if you had the turn, I feel like
you set the tone. Word, you just picked that. All right, cool. Now
thank you. Right.
That's
what I'm saying too. Versus I've seen other people, and I think this is what Keith said, which is I'm gonna go after what I want at the turn. Versus I felt like Kit was no, I'm gonna set the tone at the turn.
Yeah.
All right.
So who's your best 3 teams that you think post draft?
I like the guy who has who's the one with the Rams, the top G's and Shocker.
Yeah, the Shocker. I definitely had the Shocker up there.
The Shocker up there. Was it the Shocker?
Yeah, I like the Shocker team.
Yeah.
I like the Shockers team.
Can't remember. Who's your top 3?
Yeah, I think it's the Shaka. I think it's Kerry. Kerry got a nice little solid team. And
who's the one with the 49ers? Has the 49ers defense. That was
I can't remember.
Is that Duke Nukem?
No, he has the Chargers defense.
He got the Chargers defense.
Yeah,
that defense is scary, man. Oh my God, Khalil Mack and Boza. Jeez.
Yeah, I feel sorry for opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts for fantasy? What do you think about, like you mentioned earlier, when everyone starts to go on a run on some, do you panic and go on a run too, or you just go opposite?
I go opposite.
Yeah.
You do.
Because it goes back to what I was saying before, the values there then.
Yeah.
Going opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you got a plan, you kind of stick with it. But also, like you said, you don't know how it's going to go. He's like, oh, when he ain't drafting him? Okay, cool. Because when I'm fantasy, right, while everybody's drafting, I'm on the queue, put my cues in there just in case.
Yo, do you have now this is a good question. It's a personal question, right? So I'm cutting boundaries now.
Yeah.
You put people in your queue. Do you have the sound on or off?
On.
I have it on.
Because I need to hear him.
Yeah.
So
I know, but every time it goes ding, you're like,
Yeah.
me too, bro. So when we was drafting Sunday, I was like, damn, son. Like, oh, man.
But you got to ask people. Some people don't use their cues. I use my cues.
I feel like the sound adds drama effect to it. Like
They changed the cue on ESPN. It was a guy saying something. The cue used to be a different.
No, it makes that sound cuckoo. Like it makes that. It makes that.
It makes that, but it never was that. It was something else.
Nah,
you remember that?
No,
I think it did. It used to say,
he's off your board. That was Matthew Barry's voice.
Yeah,
but that was years ago. But they took that off. But now it's just like, like it goes.
I was like, damn.
Nah. The reason why I'm saying that is because so personally, I put my sound on mute because it does like even if I flinch.
Yeah, me too.
Right? And it just takes.
Like,
so for me, like if I don't hear it, it feels better.
Nah, I need to know, man.
Yeah,
I still know, and I still use my cue, but I'm just simply saying, like, hearing the sound itself.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, fuck.
Because the thing is, while I'm doing that, I'm literally on the browser looking up, okay, what's a good AP, what's a good ranking. So I'm like doing all that, looking at rankings or like running back while I'm doing all this at the same time. So when somebody goes up, I'm like, oh man, I have to reprogram my mind all over again.
Let's say you're using a cue for like, say you want to go running back next, right?
Yeah.
Do you normally use to put like one running back in that queue? I put like three running backs I will want next. So when it goes off, one or two times, I'm still left with something.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it takes everything.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, but what happens is like, because I do the same thing Lloyd's doing, which is like crazy. Like, I am doing research in the middle of the draft.
Me too. I do the same thing, yeah.
So when you hear that sound, like you automatically, your natural reaction is to look and see what who went off and what happened versus like just continue to plug away and like just work on it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. Any final thoughts?
You're not gonna be above 500 this year.
I'm not gonna be. 500.
You know why? No, not because I think your team.
Look into the camera. I
think your team is good because like there has to be I'm gonna tell you why. There has to be a higher being in this world because last year's sophomore rookie, the fact that team went over 500, and I think this team's better. Let me just say this year, but like like it has to balance out. Like karma has to like play a part here. Like just karma. I'm just saying.
Okay.
My number one thing is Gene cannot win again this year. You see the crap we got to go through.
I think he's right.
He can't win again.
I think he's right about that again. Because I think he's absolutely. Listen, I think my bar and my standard is different. Like it's only successful if I win. So I think he's right. Like I have the Celtics.
Who went to the finals with you last year?
I don't remember either. It doesn't matter. Like it was just another name, another body for me. Like honestly.
Wow, another name, another body.
But it was though. How did it turn out? Like, and I agree with you. Listen, guys. And the worst part, I did not bear win. But the other part that I would say, and again, this is the part I get like hammered on. When I win, I just take my trophy and keep it moving. Like I don't really like. It wasn't like I'm on the. Hold on. Did I go in the chat and was like, I want to? Because again, I'm so accustomed to doing it. Like I mean, honestly, if this was Vegas, and I love the fact that we didn't finish this like who you think are the best 3 teams post draft. If this was Vegas and you were looking at someone's resume, I gotta be one of the top 3 picks. Like I gotta be.
It's just fantasy, Gene. We don't know what's gonna happen. Exactly. Injuries are gonna happen.
Exactly.
So I'm asking you 2 questions. And then we can leave off with this, and I swear.
Yeah.
Out of people in your circle, right? Would I make the top 5 on knowledge when it comes to fantasy sports? Knowledge.
Knowledge or just
Top three. I'm not even going top 5.
Knowledge or football in general?
No,
yeah, it's different though. If you're a football manager or knowledge of football.
All right, so when it comes to fantasy,
some people who are really good at knowledge of football, but they suck in fantasy.
When it comes to fantasy football, when it comes to knowledge out of your circle, however big that is, and you both travel, you both have great jobs that allow you to travel. Like I don't make the top 3. And that's just a yes or no. That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no.
It's uncertain right now.
Well, the thing is,
I have to really sit down and think.
Well, the thing is, Gene, to be honest with you, you know your football.
That's all that I need. You know what? Let's end the podcast now. I don't want anything else.
No, but that's the reason why you think I brung on this, because we are football guys, you know, especially, and a lot of times when people talking about football, they gotta have notes or something. We did all this on some freestyle, thinking about names. That's not the easiest thing to do. When you ain't got notes, you gotta remember stuff off the top of your head. So we're football people. Depth
charts, all that stuff, like offensive schemes, offensive coordinators, like
exactly.
Again. So and again, look what you just said. Like, and I'm just gonna leave right there. Like he brought Nesta on, and Nesta, have I disappointed?
No, you haven't disappointed.
So how am I not top 3?
But I would say this. But with fantasy, even if you the most astute football player, you don't know.
You don't know. That's what I'm trying to say.
You don't. But I'm saying to you. But
it helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Yeah, you know players. Yeah,
but you still don't know because you're one injury a play, or you like bench this player, and then you like, what the hell?
Look what happened to you in the league that we did last year.
That's facts.
That messed you up though.
That's facts. It absolutely did. Listen, you're gonna have a bad. It's fantasy. Like the odds are gonna work out. But I'm simply saying when it comes to like knowledge and understanding the game, like I'm telling you guys right now. So it's so crazy. Like, and I said this like to my wife, by the way, which I said like, I might actually retire because like this is the MJ. I'm the MJ at the moment right now.
Okay, we can wrap this up now. Oh God, we can wrap this up now.
We wrap this up. All right, G. Any final thoughts, Lloyd?
Gene don't win. Yeah, definitely that. But I just can't wait for a great season. Man.
Yeah, that's what I want. This is a great season.
You know, I want us to have fun as always. Talk our football, stuff like that. Come together as as a group, politic, come to ideas. And I love a healthy debate, man. I like football. I like healthy debates. We always got to agree, but I like it.
And even if I do finish below 500 on last place, I don't care.
No, there's always next year.
Yeah, it's always next year.
I'm not trying to be funny. It's not life or death. Like, no offense. Like, that's the other part.
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm competitive. When I lose a fantasy game, my whole week is.
First of all, when I lose out of a league, I mute that league. Like, I literally mute that league, and I don't even look at the standings till like right before the championship.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming through. It's a pleasure.
Definitely, man.
This wraps up another episode of Hot Seat. Your truly Nessa Can. Take care and God bless.